So once we have 2% agar microscopic plates, we don't need these dummy plates or supporting plates. We need plate which has 2% agar, and then the next step would be transferring the worms from the agar plate. So this is how it looks. I have here strain BZ, it's CZ 1632, and I'll transfer it to one of the slides. Supposedly, let's use this one. So the first thing we need is this buffer, which is called M9 buffer. We use this buffer frequently in C. elegans culture because we use them to transfer the worms, or maybe when we need to do centrifugation. So we're gonna use this buffer a lot. Even 10 to 20 microliter of this buffer is fine to use. So I'm gonna use 50 microliter of the buffer to transfer the worms. So if you take 50 microliters full of worms, it would be too much, and you need to be careful about the concentration of worms you have in your plate. So you have to be careful when you pick the worms from the plate. There is not too much, otherwise it will make the thing overcrowded. So I'm using 50 microliters of M9 buffer, and then I will take the plate. I'll see like number of worms over there. In the reflection you can see like there are a lot of clumps of the worms. So I'm gonna spread the M9 buffer. Let me take another solution. So I'll drop M9 and then recollect the M9 and then transfer them in the slide. Even one drop of M9 buffer contains maybe 100 or 200 worms. Now I have this containing a lot of worms. I'll spread this all over the slide so that I can see them in confocal microscopy. And even with bare naked eye, you can see a lot of worms floating around. I'll distribute them evenly so that I'll let them dry for a second. And these worms are very active, so I'm gonna add sodium azide, high concentration of sodium azide, so that these worms will stop moving. This 25 millimolar solution of NaN3, which is sodium azide, and I'll take 20 microliter of sodium azide. Basically it acts as poison. I'll take 20 microliter of sodium azide and transfer it to the plate, and as an effect this will immobilize all the worms in the plate. So sodium azide basically act as poison and restrict the movement of the worms in the plate, so that in confocal microscopy we don't see any movement of the worms and we get still images. So you can still wait for some more seconds and then we can use a cover slide So I'm gonna use this cover slip. After some seconds, once I see like the slides are dry enough, so I'm gonna give 2 more minutes to dry the slides, and then I can use a cover slip.